Welcome back to the High Expectations podcast. We apologize. We had a little bit of a hiatus, but we are back. And moving forward, Jake and myself will be hosting a weekly episode. Just me and him. We're going to do it mainly geared around finance, crypto, and stocks, since that's what we love the most. But we will continue to discuss all relevant and important topics that will lead us to creating a better world. That is the main goal of this podcast: spread information, spread positivity, create a better world. We are aware how popular our guest episodes are, so we will still be doing guest episodes. We're going to try and do at least 1 or 2 guest episodes per month on top of the weekly episodes that me and Jake will be doing. And with that being said, we're going to jump right into today's episode. We're going to be discussing Zed Run, which is, yes, digital horse racing. You heard that correct. Digital horse racing. This is an interesting one. We hope you guys enjoy this. Thanks for tuning in.
I want to talk about this horse racing thing in depth, the Zed Run. Like, I need to know more about it. Like, I want to spend a lot of time on that. So I don't want to talk about too much other stuff because I think it's really cool. And I think a lot of people don't know about it. And especially for people that are interested in NFTs, definitely something to look at. So you just kind of explain to us like what it kind of is.
So it's literally digital horse racing. Full disclosure, I've only gotten involved in this I only got physically involved in it like a couple weeks ago when I bought my horses. But I first heard about it on Anthony Pompliano's podcast, Pomp. And I don't even know what the guy's name that he had on there, but he talked about it. And it's literally digital horse racing. I've only been involved for like month and a half. But they're doing Genesis horses, which they're releasing their original horses. So the company Zed themselves are creating and releasing horses, and they're going to release 38,000 of them. So periodically, that.
So 38,000 generation like one horses, or 38,000 of all
time. To get into that further, they're ranked Z1s to Z10s, the ones that they're dropping.
Okay, so Z1s are the best.
Technically, yeah, they're like the most pure. Like they don't it doesn't automatically like if you have a Z1 and someone has a Z15, it doesn't automatically mean your horse wins, but they have better what is
stats and shit.
Well, yeah, but like when you can breed with them, but they have better genes. Like you pass them down like better DNA and all that. They have a better chance of creating a better horse or a more pure horse. But first of all, there's a lot to explain, so I'm gonna try and go in order to make it all make sense. So yeah, they're releasing 38,000 original horses, and they're still in their beta. So right now, this is still like a testing phase. This is still like the beginning. They're figuring stuff out. So they're doing drops, basically how they would do like shoe drops, like just any
just drop style, like Supreme, Supreme
stuff. Yeah, like any types of things like that. So yeah, they're doing 38,000 total, and they're dropping I think like maybe between like 5,000 and 10,000 each time. So I went to the Echo Drop, it was called, and I was in the first wave, and I was trying to buy a horse. The links weren't working. You would try and buy horses, like click buy. Like nothing was working. It was all messed up. It was all hectic. The last like 5 minutes of each wave, like they did it in like 4 periods. So like for 15 minutes each period, like certain people, like they would dedicate amounts of people that were allowed to buy in that wave. So like the 5 minutes of the first wave, I like finally bought a horse and got like a random horse. Wasn't the horse that I wanted. It wasn't like the Z7 or 6 that I was trying to get. I ended up getting a Z9. And then like the next wave, so I was qualified for like 2 waves since it was my first horse. So people that didn't have a horse before, they let you go in wave 1, and then you were qualified for another wave. So then the second wave, like the same thing happened. I couldn't get a horse for like the first 10 minutes. And then the last 5 minutes, I randomly was like, okay, then let me buy a horse. And then apparently the whole drop was messed up. Like everyone was complaining. Everything was like hectic. Everything wasn't working right. So I wasn't the only one having problems. So they delayed the drop. They stopped it. Anyone that was able to buy a horse, they gave us our horses and delayed the drop. So they're actually still not doing another drop for another like few weeks, and sometime in July, I want to say. But so that's how you get horses originally, is they create the original 38,000.
And is there like an app where you're doing this all just like online?
It's online. It's Zed.Run. So then moving forward, once you have like those technical, like the created horses, that's how horses get created into this world.
Yeah.
Then they have what's called breeding, like literally breeding horses. And that hasn't been active since I've been around. since I heard about it, there was like a bug that was created that there was a super good horse that people started breeding with, and basically we're breeding super horses essentially. So like the breeding has been closed and they've been fixing it for a few months now. But that's how you can create horses later on. So like I said, the original 38,000 that they release are Z1 to Z10. I don't know the exact distribution, probably like 2,000 Z1s, 4,000 Z2s, whatever the math would be.
Yeah.
And then in the breeding, if you have, and then they have male and female horses. So if I have a male horse, I can go put him in what's called the stud farm, and people can pay to breed with my horse. So let's say I have my Z9, I can go put him in the stud farm, and let's say I charge $100. Someone can pay $100 if they have a female horse to breed with my horse, and they can make their own new baby horse, and then they get to name it, they keep it, and then obviously I get the money for them breeding with my horse.
Yeah. Wow.
So and then when you breed, so let's have a Z9 and they had a Z8, the baby would be a Z17. So right now it goes all the way to Z268, I believe. So theoretically, in my mind, what I'm doing is buying these horses that hopefully in 10, 15, 20 years, if people are still doing this, people would hopefully pay decent money to breed with a Z9 because people have Z400s or 500s or 1000s or whatever at that point.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So I hope I explained enough of that.
No, like, you explained it really well.
And then I guess the biggest part of it is, other than the breeding, would be the racing. So there's like small amounts of free races, and then there's paid races. So you can pay to enter your horse and do races. And then it's 1,000, 1,200, 1,400. It goes all the way up to, I believe, 2,600. So there's 9 races, 200-meter increments. And then there's a website called Play with Zest, and then where you can like bet on the horses and it'll show the odds. And then there's another website called Know Your Horse. So the cool thing, if people don't know about blockchain, is that everything is public. Everything is public record, public information, public stats. So everyone can see my horse's history. So if I go to Know Your Horse, it'll literally show the odds of my horse for every single race. And right now, the only thing that matters is distance preference. So let's say your horse has odds of like 30-1 and you're only racing 2,000-meter races. And then you go to like 1,000-meter races, your horse might have like 10-1 odds. And then it also matters, like, let's say you're racing against 10 horses who are better than you, your odds might be way worse than if you're racing against 10 horses that are worse than you. So like there's so many factors that right now affect your odds and how good your horse is and how much they win, how much they play first, second, third.
Yeah. And how often are these races?
Dude, there's races literally nonstop. So like if I were to go on right now, there's like lobbies and it'll be like $2, $4.
So it's kind of like Call of Duty, like you can just get in a game type shit.
Yeah, once the it fills up with 12 racers, then it'll like basically like put you into a time slot. So sometimes it'll be like once 12 people fill up, it'll be like, all right, your race is in an hour, or sometimes
do you have to be
20 minutes.
Do you have to be on? Like, do you have to be there for your horse to be racing?
You log in and you can join races. So right now, each horse, you can join 3 paid races at a time and 1 free race. So you could join 3 races with your horse and then leave, and your horse will race and do everything on that on its own. But you have to physically log in and like hit join and pay to join the races.
Okay, yeah.
But I know like some people talk about like just like before they go to bed, they'll like put their horse in like 3 races, go to bed, wake up, and see what happened, and then put in 3 races, go to work, come home, see what happens.
I like that. That's what I'm gonna be on once I get my horses for sure. I'm definitely getting involved. I'm definitely getting involved in this next drop.
It's just it's just interesting because there's so many things that people don't know, and there's so many factors that people don't know yet. Because right now, all it matters is distance preference, but soon they're saying that gate preference is going to matter. So when you enter a race, you have to pick what gate you are in. So like gates 1 through 12, like which gate your horse races out of. So they're saying that that's going to be a factor soon. Then they're going to start adding weather. So some horses might just not be able to run in the rain. Like your horse could be the best horse racer ever so far, but then when rain comes around, it could just be a shitty rain racer. So if you race in the rain, you're just most likely going to have crappy odds.
Are you able to test your horses to like see what they're good at?
The first race is a free, like what's called like Duffy race. They have like classes. So that's like a whole nother thing that I didn't even know about or learn about until I started racing, getting into it. And it's a little confusing. But basically, your horse, based on if you're a Z1, a Z4, a Z6, based on what you start at, you get like a racing score. So let's say you start at 30. If you get there's classes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then each one has like a racing points assigned to it. So like 1 through 20, 21 through 40, whatever, all the way down up to like 100. And then based on what place you're in, your points go up and down. So that's the other interesting thing too, is I have a really shitty horse. My first one was terrible. Like his odds were like 40-1. He's losing everything, whatever. But he's a class 4 racer. So once I lose enough races and get bumped down to class 5, I'm going to be interested to see, do I just start winning? Do I have better odds? Does my horse suck everywhere? Is he just not good enough to be a class 4 racer?
Is he just fucking terrible?
Yeah, like his odds are literally like 40-1. Like he's never won a race. He's coming third, I think, once or twice, and that's it.
Do you just bet like $10 on him every time just in case?
I don't bet on him at all because that's like a separate
Okay.
platform and it's not officially connected. And like,
Gotcha.
I don't know how you feel about that, but like people use it. But, like,
Yeah.
you can see your odds.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but then
how many?
Recently, keep going. We'll save this part for later.
Does how many races your horse does like affect it? Like, does it age? Things like that.
So right now, there's no fatigue. The horses don't die. They don't technically age. But like I said, they'll have the stats. So like my horse that sucks, like right now, if there's a lot of horses that are like Z1 through 9 or 8, 9, 10, whatever, like that are around my horse's like stereotype or genotype, if other horses have a win percentage of like 5 or 10 or 20 or whatever, and mine's 0, I'm not going to be able to charge that much. Like people are going to breed with that horse over mine all the time.
Yeah.
So like that matters when it comes to breeding. They say, I think it's like win percentage and then like the genotype also. So like my horse could be okay because he's still a Z9, so he might have an okay babies, but since he's terrible, he might only make shitty babies.
Yeah.
So people might not pay for that. So I have
are
to
both your horses male?
Yeah, they're both men. So I'm gonna try and on this next shot, I'm gonna try and get female. Because like I said, when I bought the first male, I bought the first male, and then when I tried to get the second horse, I tried to get a female. But like I said, the drop was all weird and whack, so I just started hitting buy on everything and just got what
if you have a female, you can just breed amongst yourself, right?
Yeah, you pay
and
whoever. Yeah, well, you can't breed amongst yourself.
You can't breed your horses together.
Now that you say that, I'm not 100% sure because I was thinking about that. Yeah, I don't know.
And is there like a limit to the times like a female could have babies?
Yeah. Okay. So the breeding is the female can have 1 baby a month, and then the male you can breed with 3 times per month.
Okay. Shit.
And then
12 horses a year though with a female?
Yeah. And then the newborn have to be born, I believe, for a year before they're allowed to start mating. So like you couldn't have a female horse and then start using both of those to start breeding immediately. And like, yeah.
Well, at least they have some dignity, you know?
Yeah, but yeah, if you
I would assume kids.
You either can't breed with your own horse. I would have to guess you can't, just because otherwise I feel like that becomes a little too.
Yeah, like it's kind of like rigged.
2 Z1s, they can constantly create as many Z2s as they want forever and ever and ever. So I don't know. Maybe they can. And if they can, then that's now something that I want to think about.
That's now something that I want to do.
Values my horse, because if someone can create thousands and millions of Z2s, 3s, 4s, 5, whatever that are better than my horse, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
but my horse is still technically a Genesis, not a legendary. Yeah. So that's the other thing is like, there's like tiers to the horses too. So it'll be like Genesis is the 38,000 that they drop. There'll never be more. Then if you breed 2 Genesis horses, it creates a legendary horse. And then it gets like it's Genesis, legendary, rare, and like it keeps going down. And so basically, if you breed 2 of the same horses, it creates the next best one. Or like 2 legendary horses, I think, will create a legendary horse. But a legendary and a rare horse would create a rare horse. Like it's the lesser.
Okay. So this next drop that they're having, those will still be Genesis horses?
Yeah, all the ones that they're dropping are Genesis horses, and then once they're done with that, it's over. So that's the interesting part too, is like the biggest. They have had issues with their breeding, which they're fixing, which is going to be half of their platform essentially. So they will have to fix that 100% and get that squared away. But people complaining about the drops and the drops sucking and the drops being a pain in the ass, like, yeah, it sucks and it's fucking annoying and it's stressful. But like, once they drop the 38,000 Genesis horses, like, they're not a drop company. Like, once they have the horses out, like, they don't have to do drops anymore. Like, I don't know if you're like NBA Top Shot, but like, their model, their company, their business is doing drops. So like, if their drops keep fucking up, like, they have to continually get them better and figure that out, because that's the only way that they release their items.
Yeah.
So like, once
I also go ahead.
No, I was gonna basically repeat myself. Yeah, go ahead.
I also saw Stella.
Okay, that's what I was gonna bring up a second ago. Yeah,
made, I think it was a few horses that they made. So
50.
is that like something also they made 50? So it's only 50.
So what they're doing is
Wait,
it's actually,
so they made. Hold on, real quick before you get into it. They made 50 different horses, or they made 50 total horses.
wait,
Like
say that
50.
again?
Like, is it 50 different variations with like 100 each, or is it like 50 total
Oh no,
horses
it's
that they made?
50 horses. Like, it's 51 of one horses.
Yeah, because I saw there was one called like Chalice, and I think it was going for like 3,000.
Yeah. So what they're doing is
It was
literally,
going for like 1.5 Ethereum or something like that.
yeah. So literally once every single day, and yeah, Ethereum and all crypto is looking very bearish right now, to say the least. I'm kind of excited. I want a bear market, but
Fucking Elon.
yeah, right. But what they're doing basically, I'm not gonna be able to find it right now. But what they're doing is, I believe it's every single day for like 24 hours. They're doing an auction, and then they're having a horse and an NFT. So it comes within the NFT, and then you also actually get an actual horse with as
And
well.
does that link to Zed? Like, can I race those horses as well?
Like that horse. Yeah, it's like a horse in your stable.
Dude, that's awesome. Because eventually you'll probably get like celebrity horses and shit. Like, fucking Jay-Z is gonna come out with like 30 horses.
Dude, yeah, it's interesting because, like, I mean, like, you can name your horses already. So like, there's already like some of the ones that I looked up. I was gonna do like a Dave Portnoy horse, and like, just to try and get like extra notoriety and like whatever. But
and like, the names have to be unique, right? Like almost like a username.
I believe so. Yeah, they probably
like, you
would.
can't have two horses named Dave.
Yeah.
That's what
So it'll be interesting, yeah, when people start creating horses and down the road. And then, yeah, like I said, so many things are gonna change. Like, the horses don't die right now. So what if down the road they decide that
I don't think they'll ever have them die. I think they'll fatigue. I think they'll get older.
For sure, fatigue, and they'll get like old and
But
stuff.
I think it's kind of hard to say they'll die. Like, imagine having like a Z1 like Genesis, and like it just dies eventually. Like, you kind of be pissed off.
Right,
like,
but
it
if
kind of
it kind of
takes out the rarity of it. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's kind of interesting because it's like you kind of have to have it die, because you can't just have fucking Z1 or Z1 horses like murking off all these other fucking Z459 horses like later down the line. So
I think if anything, it would be interesting because it would almost be like you said. It would then almost be, because right now these have, the reason I like Zed a lot more than a lot of these other NFTs is these have utility. Like, they have use. Like, you can race your horse, you can win money.
That's what I really like. That and like Top Shot, because like it's almost like it's not as like utility based, but I feel like it's more like it's almost like trading cards. Like, whereas like for me, like to just buy like digital art like an NFT, it's like kind of like I'd rather buy a horse.
Yeah, there's a word for it. I forget what it's called. It's not the nostalgia, but it's like utility. There's something else that it's called. But,
did you ever have one of those things? I think it was called like a Tamagotchi, and it was like a little fucking.
I know what you're talking about,
dude. It was like a little keychain thing, and it like had like a little like animal inside of it that you raise, and it's like, man, they were way ahead of their time. If only they would have known. If only they would have known they could have been an NFT fucking company.
Yeah, right.
It's crazy though, bro. Do you care? Do you care and like to tell us like how much you spent on each of your horses?
Yeah, no, I don't care. These horses actually are one of them. I don't know the exact prices because I started just hitting buy on so many things. But like, they were only like between like 180 and 220 each. They were zero. So if you look
Both
up,
of them are Z9.
yeah, so if you look up Zed Run Terra drops or like drop history, if you look up the history prices of the drops, it's the exact same as a Terra drop. So like every other time the prices have gone up, this is the first drop that they said like, and they normally don't tell you the prices ahead of time. This was the first drop that they said, hey, the prices are going to be the same as the last drop. So like the Z10s were like 120 something, the Z9s were like 200 ish, kept going up.
What did the Z1s go for?
Z1s I think were like 16 ish thousand.
16,000. Wow.
16,000, yeah.
Oh,
dude, it's crazy. Yeah, but what I was gonna
I
say.
need one.
I know. I wanted to buy like a Z7 or Z8, so we'll see how it goes. And if Ethereum keeps going down, I don't know if they price everything in Ethereum. I think they price everything in Ethereum.
Yeah, they do.
So yeah, so I think if Ethereum goes down, I think that's good for us.
Yeah,
because like everything's equivalent in dollars, but I think their prices are gonna stay the same in Ethereum.
I mean, yeah, as long as like you convert your dollars to Ethereum at the lower rate and not have the Ethereum already down, it's like kind of offsetting, but
yeah, but like right now, like
it
might drop below 2,000 again. Finally,
what's Ethereum at right now? Like 21?
It was like 22 last time I checked.
That's crazy. I sold my Bitcoin and my Ethereum to like
help pay for everything's like crashing.
But I sold them to help pay for my house, and I ended up like accidentally selling at the top.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, like there's like Bitcoin's 35 now. Yeah, Ethereum's down to like 2160. Doge is down to like 28. Yeah, everything's down. People are saying like, yeah, even like a few days ago, people were saying like, hey, things are starting to look kind of bearish. It's interesting, but
yeah, I think it's just a lot of people are taking profit, and I think a lot in the market in general. I think a lot of people are. I mean, what the fuck is up with AMC? How sick are you, Donny? Are you sick in your stomach?
No, not really, but
I have
a couple buddies that are making like dumb. I'm happy.
Oh my gosh, bro! I had 1,000 shares of AMC. I sold it at fucking. I didn't have 1,000 shares. I had 500 shares because I sold it at 16, and I made 8,000. And I was like, bet. I made like 5,000 or something off of it, and I was like, this is good. And then fucking, lo and behold, fucking, it could have been worth fucking. What is it? 500. If I had 500 shares at $60, what is that? 30,000 or 300? That's 30.
Yeah. Still. Yeah. Fucking real quick back to NFTs. If the horses do like, because right now, like I said, they have the utility. Like that's awesome. You can actually use them. You can use them to make money breeding. Like you can make passive income. Like I said, if I have a male horse that people want to breed with, if people are going to pay me $100, that's $300 a month just to own a horse. So like that would pay for the horse itself anyway. But then if they do add fatigue and down the road, I don't necessarily think they'll kill the horses like you said, because then it's fucked.
That's kind of the point of it, you know. Like if you have a Z1, you want it to be worth something in 10 years. So I don't understand they do that.
Yeah, but down the road, I think they'll really incorporate like the fatigue. Like I think they might not be able to actually race. They might not be able to do breeding. Like they might just be way too old to breed any horses. They might not be able to like do that type of shit. But then it'll really be like these other NFTs that they're more of just a collectible.
Yeah, like vintage. Yeah.
Yeah. So like at least from that aspect, I'm gonna hold them forever. And I want to buy another one. I wanted to do.
We got to get some money together, bro, and we're gonna get a Z1.
We could do that because there'll be a couple more drops after this, but the prices should probably keep going up. We'll see.
Yeah.
I want to get what I want to do is because I bought two. I wanted to race one and save one unraced forever, basically like an unopened, unraced Genesis horse. But then my first horse was so fucking bad and so fucking trash that I was like,
Did you race the other one?
Yeah, I started racing the other one, and he's actually like okay. He's way better. Good. Like he's not good, but he's way better. And the more I figured out, the more like I think he has way more potential. Like he doesn't like his odds are more of like 15, 20 to 1 a lot of the times. And sometimes they do get down lower, like when I'm not racing amazing people. So like it really is sometimes about just like picking your races, and like if there's good people in the race, just like you can't fucking race because you're not gonna win most of the time. But
so
like
you get to see the other horses in the race before you like.
So I guess there's like so many things I could talk about, but let's wrap up with these two, I guess, because they're the most interesting to me. Is first of all, the races, how they work is, let's say my horse has 40-1 odds, and all the, like, they take all the 12 horses and they extrapolate it out over basically like 10,000 races. So they take all of our odds and then run a simulation with those odds 10,000 times, and then take a random number, and then they'll pick a random number 1 through 10,000, and that's the race that everyone sees and that is like publicly posted or whatever. So it really is pretty fair, and it really is rather random. Your odds obviously matter, but like you could have, people are saying you could have horses with like terrible odds and they just overperform, whether it's luck, whether that's part of the system, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting. So that's how the races actually work. And then I honestly forget the second one that I was gonna say. Damn it.
Dude, that's crazy though. Fuck. I
Yeah.
just want a horse that's like a stallion. Like I just need him out there, just start winning. Come on, baby. Like I need like 5-1 odds. Like Z1, we need it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wanted to buy a horse that I was never gonna race. I think this might have been the second thing I was gonna say. We'll pretend it was. But yeah, so this next drop, since I knew they were like delaying this drop and they're basically gonna do this drop again, I raced both horses, but I want to get a horse, Z6, Z7, 8, whatever, 9, whatever, a Genesis horse that is literally just unraced, never used. Because I feel like that in 10, 15, 20 years, anyone will pay money to breed with that horse because it's an unknown.
Yeah.
But then the only problem with that is if like 10 people breed with that horse and all of those horses are bad, then my value could instantly be gone. Like, you never know. There's a lot to it.
Yeah, but I mean, at that point, you already breeded enough horses to make your money back. So
yeah. We already went for a little while. We might have to turn this into an NFT podcast because next time we're gonna have to talk about Top Shots because I'm balls deep in Top now.
Yeah. Well, why don't we just talk about Top Shot next week? We can do a whole little 30-minute. I think NFTs. I think right now, I think it is gonna become more of something that is utility based, like the NFTs that go the extra mile. I think those are the ones that are really gonna prosper. I think right now it's a brand new market, and so people aren't really sure how to like value a lot of things. And with crypto, I think, especially with like Bitcoin and Ethereum, like those are the two main ones that I think about. I think it's just a lot of people right now. I think in general in the market, in the stock market and in the crypto market, I think a lot of people have made a lot of money or have lost a lot of money, and they're just getting out for a little bit, or
Yeah. Especially right now, people are about to get wrecked. Not fun.
Yeah, that's
not
fun at all.
2017 though, and that's why I'm like building these like crypto Facebook groups, and like we have like group meets and whatever, and it's just like I'm no expert by any means, obviously, but like going through this in 2017 and like watching patterns and whatever, and like following it through now, and like watching things repeat, and like the same things happen over and over again. Like I just feel like I have a better gauge on what's happening, and even this pullback, like while it sucks and if people lose money, like that's not good, but this is, as far as like a chart goes and as far as like technical analysis and all that, like this is very healthy for the longevity of crypto and of Bitcoin and all of that. So I mean,
and an awesome opportunity for people that felt like they missed out and want to get in.
Yeah.
Like me personally, if we see, go ahead.
I was gonna say people that thought they missed out while this dip happens, they then have FUD, which is stands for, if people don't know,
there is a lot
in doubt, and they just fucking sit there the whole time like, oh, maybe it's not gonna go back up. No, I'm scared. I don't know. Like it's crashing. It's down. People don't buy, and then it's like once it starts going back up again, people are like, oh, it is gonna go up. I'm gonna start buying, and like, So it's just, I mean, that's how the human mind works. But the more people learn and all that, I think it's just, it's so funny to watch.
It's gonna go back up. If we see Bitcoin at 20,000, which I'm not 100% sure it's gonna go that low.
Bitcoin is 20,000 is supposed to be about the floor, but yeah, keep going. So hopefully,
if it hits 20K, I think I might just go ahead and cop me one.
Yeah, no, this little next bear cycle, if not full bear cycle, I want to buy one full Bitcoin just to have, because I truly believe it's gonna go to at least
$1 million, 500.
If not like 10, 20. Like I honestly think like there's no limit to how high Bitcoin will go. I don't know how quick will that be in our lifetimes. I have no idea. But like I truly believe Bitcoin will be millions of
plus in another aspect also, like if the U.S. dollar does fail, at least you have a Bitcoin. So
and like fucked up as it is, the U.S. dollar isn't really gonna like. We're kind of getting on a little tangent, but the U.S. dollar doesn't necessarily have to like disappear. It's like that's what people don't realize too. Is like I learned this not that long ago. It's like because when I think of the dollar or like something failing, like it means it's like gone. But the Venezuelan currency is like it's $1 is like 250,000 or 200 something like insane bolivar. I don't know how to say it, pronounce it, whatever. But their currency and like their currency is literally so hyperinflated that it's literally worth nothing. So like yeah, it exists and people use it and things are priced in it, but like it's failed. Like it doesn't work. So like the fact that 25% of all of the US dollars were created this year, like that's not a good sign. Like if we keep on that pace, like the dollar is literally going to fail. And that doesn't mean it's going to go away, but your dollar will literally be worth nothing if you just hold on to your dollar.
Yeah, truth. Very good truth. I think that's a good spot to probably call it.
Yeah, cash is trash.
Get yourself a horse. Go get yourself a nice Z1 or a nice Z9. You know,
horses and Top Shot, Bitcoin.
Maybe go for the Z8 since Donnie's not having much luck with the Z9s.
Yeah, one of my
maybe spend a few extra $100.
Right.
If you can.
He
said, does this guy just suck at everything?
Yeah, right. I'm about to just fucking buy like 3 or 4 more horses and just not race 2 of them or something. I don't know.
Yeah. What are your horses' names? We can end with that.
I don't get to name them. The Genesis horses, they name
names, right?
When you have a female horse and you pay to breed and you create a baby, you get to name that horse. But that being said, yeah, one of my horses named, the one that's absolute fucking trash, is Casino Exit, which is a good idea. He's probably exit fucking all my fucking money. And then the other one is Daffy Ducks with a DUX. And that one looks
the one that's like decent.
Yeah, and they have like different colors, different coats. So that one's like a shiny looking cool blue, and the other one's like a maroon looking dull kind of color.
Fucking trash.
Yeah, trash ass motherfucker.
Oh man.
Money racing him too, and like just hoping I could figure out how to race him, hoping he'd get better, and like nothing was working. So I'm just gonna take him for when like there's weather and there's other factors, and
maybe he's just like really good in the snow.
Yeah, and right now the other problem is too, like a lot of people racing right now have either had horses for a while because there hasn't been drops and there hasn't been breeding. So either people now are only using their good horses or know that are going to do well, or there's people that are experienced playing the game for the most part. So also the longer it goes on and the more people join, not that you want to take advantage of new players and whatever, but like everyone goes through the learning phase. So, I mean, I'm basically just going through the learning phase. And then once I'm more of a veteran and more experienced and everyone else comes in and starts going through the learning phase, maybe I'll start winning more then too. And we'll see.
There's always hope to hold on to.
Yeah, we'll see. There's hope.
Hell yeah. All right, Donnie. Well, this has been a good time. For everybody listening, we'll catch you fucking next week. That's it.
See you guys next week.
Get a horse.
Yeah, right.